Welcome, boys and girls. Welcome once again to Culture Clash, where today we answer the musical question, who is a bigger putz, Anthony Weiner or Elliot Spitzer?
And also, Strauss-Kahn says that it was consensual.
And we want to thank the marvelous people at Flood Brothers for bringing you Culture Clash. I'm Chet Kopic, joined by
Catherine Saxon.
All right, let's start off with Anthony Weiner.
Holy Wiener.
Holy Weiner. Hey!
Hey!
You can't enjoy the book. You can't enjoy the ball game without a hot dog.
The Wiener's out of the bag. This Wiener's going to be barbecued before the next election.
I'll say one thing. We don't go in for cheap laughs.
Okay.
What disturbs you most? And then I'll give you my take.
Your take?
What disturbs you most about Anthony Weiner and the so-called inappropriate tweets?
All right, well, let's give some background information for people living under a rock. But he's a seven-term...
Our audience, that's about 95%.
97. Okay, seven-term congressman and leading candidate to actually become the next mayor of New York City. He tweeted a picture of himself and meant to send it as a joke, this is what he was quoted saying, to a woman in Seattle. And once I realized I posted to Twitter, I panicked, took it down, and said that I had been hacked. So he lied. And while he's giving this speech, he is, teary-eyed the entire time. But I was thinking to myself, okay, this is kind of an embarrassing story, but one time I was kind of interested in this guy. I was on Facebook, and I go to look up his name and creep him out because Facebook is pretty much a legal way for people to creep. And I type his name, and I accidentally put his name in my Facebook status. And you know what that is, right? You can put
sure.
statuses of your daily life, or I saw
What do
a
you
rainbow
think? I live
today.
under a rock?
Yes, 97% of our audience. Okay, so I type his name out into my status update. So instead of looking the guy up, that's my status, the guy's name. I realized that I do this, and of course everyone can see this on their mini feed, and I was extremely embarrassed. I quickly delete it and whatever. So I can see how this guy, as creepy as this is, he's sending this woman some explicit pictures of himself. He accidentally posts it.
So you're saying the male appendage is explicit.
I'm saying this is the problem.
As a single entity, it's explicit.
I'm saying this is the problem with technology. Okay, it becomes too complicated. You accidentally, press something in the wrong box, and it's now available for the universe. Yours truly. So
well, I might have done the same thing.
Okay.
And sent out explicit pictures to 6 different females. But the world is having so much fun right now, laughing at the Obama administration. Really, it'd just be a waste of time.
Oh, you're too busy. You're too busy with that you don't have time for the other six ladies.
No, but here's what's interesting. I'm waiting for Anthony Weiner's.
I know. I know. It's like how many times has he been made fun of for his name, and now his name is even a bigger joke?
Can you imagine
why would you do this to yourself?
Can you imagine what kind of hell grammar school must have been for that kid?
I'm sure that he
waiting
went
for his
through
wife to come out
a
and
brutal
support.
experience.
Next time around, Anthony, send a direct message, all right? You can avoid all this nonsense.
All right, so...
By the way, Pelosi's after your skull. You're going to have to resign.
I was just going to bring that up. She's calling for an ethics investigation. And the first rule of the House states that the members shall behave at all times in a manner that shall reflect credibly on the House. So, 6 women over the past 3 years,
Has she ever heard of Ted Kennedy?
Has
she ever heard of Gary Hart?
Yeah, this is, rules are a little tight as of recently. The guy has actually only been married for a year. I mean, the marriage is already crumbling. That the love has died, the romance has died.
No, it's not crumbling. Cosmopolitan will do a piece next month about how the wife stepped in and saved the marriage of Anthony Weiner, who I'm hereby from now on going to call Weiner McWeiner.
Say that 10 times fast.
Weiner McWeiner.
Anyway, Rick Santorum, former Pennsylvania senator, he announces his run for GOP, that he's going to be a contender in the nomination. He wasn't reelected in 2006, get this, because he didn't get enough votes. So I'm thinking since he only received 20% of the independent vote for that, how is he actually going to do it in the bigger picture of our entire nation?
First of all, he's not going to raise any money.
Okay.
Number 2, I understand that someone fainted during his announcement yesterday.
Yes.
It's amazing what indifference can do to a crowd.
You have to see I will actually watch this live. His reaction. I mean, there was no emotional reaction to this woman fainting in front of him. He's like, oh, somebody better do something about that. Let me get back to my speech. I mean, he could have faked helping her a little bit. Somebody should get her a water or something. Like, okay, well, this would be a good time to show your theatrical side. And
this guy's name is Santorum?
Yes.
If he walked
Rick.
down, if he walked down
Slick Rick.
any street right now in the United States, nobody would recognize him, right?
No, maybe I was more enticed with the fact that the woman fainted, and that's what really got my attention. Mitt Romney is leading in the pack as of right now, and he actually has, he's head-to-head with Obama. Just wanted to say this on a side note, they're both at 47%. So the economy's down, that's probably a reflection on that. But
Well, we're at a 2% growth rate right now with the economy, which figures to be that way for the next 10 years. So Romney will not worry about the fact that we're in 3 wars. He will just pound away at the economy. Nevertheless, Obama is a great campaigner, a tremendous campaigner, and a brilliant fundraiser. I still think Obama straight up beats Mitt Romney. Unless there's devastation in the White House. Something almost scandalous would have to transpire for Obama not to get a second.
Well, we've been saying for a few weeks now that we need a legitimate candidate for the GOP.
How about Weiner McWeiner?
I think he's out for
Hot dogs for
congressman.
everybody.
Yeah.
Let's teach our 5-year-olds how to tweet.
Okay, so Mitt Romney, for his announcement, he announces that he's going to be running for GOP, and so who shows up but no other than Sarah Palin. And a reporter asked him if he was upset about this.
Always talks like a parakeet.
And so a reporter says, okay, well, are you upset that Sarah Palin showed up and kind of stole the show? And he said, well, my worst enemy is overexposure, so I'll let her take the... He said, my worst enemy is overexposure, is being overly exposed.
Well,
Yeah, just a second ago we were talking about Weeder. I thought it was a witty jab to Sarah Palin, She shows up and of course she's, the overexposed. But let's talk about Strauss-Kahn and how he said that his encounter with the maid was consensual. The 32-year-old maid is going to testify, although, and her lawyer said that she will not settle the case, because I was starting to wonder, maybe this is about the cha-ching, the money. Show me the money.
The moment the attorney says, we will not settle the case, they're going to settle the case.
I think that's her attorney sort of putting their fists up, showing their muscles and saying, how high will you go, because we're willing to ruin your life.
Humiliate you.
Right. If it can't get any lower than this. He actually resigned from IMF. So his life is obviously already on a downhill spiral, but he had to resign from his position, and you can kiss France's presidency goodbye, and I'm thinking write her a check.
Not a bad idea. I'll go along with it.
Okay. Well, they're good. I'm glad we agree on something. Did you hear about this Philadelphia teacher who I was actually surprised to find out that it was a man.
The babe with the stapler?
It's not a babe. It could be a babe, a male babe, threw a stapler at his 15-year-old student. And
so Culture Clash can confirm that David Bowie threw a stapler at a student in Philadelphia.
No, I don't know about that. The teacher's name is unknown, but we'll just ignore that comment. But the mom is trying to press criminal charges against this guy, and she wants him to be barred from the classroom permanently. The teacher is saying that the stapler, he threw it against the wall out of aggravation dealing with children, and that it bounced off the wall and hit the kid in the head. So do you think this guy should be barred from the classroom or not?
On paper,
or put in timeout.
On paper, no. He should be suspended for a period of 1 month. Should go through anger management, and then put him back in the ballgame.
Okay. I don't know. I think that if you throw a stapler
Look at what
at
anger management did for Carlos Zambrano.
It's working out so well. Put them two in a ring. I don't know about a month solely, but I think that this is you cause the kid to get stitches, and he's not going to be able to finish up.
The kid's going to wind up with a score. There's no question about it. He's going to wind up with some dough coming out of all this.
Okay, from a teacher, not much.
No. From the teacher won't be the payer in this.
The school? Okay.
And the school district.
Okay. Have you seen Jennifer Aniston's new boyfriend?
The last boyfriend I followed with Jennifer Aniston with any interest was Brad Pitt. That was about 1983.
That was a little later than 1983, but close. I don't even know how to say this guy's.
She's really got a great butt, by the way.
Is she
just world class?
Well, she was just voted Spike's TV Guys Choice Awards, the Decade of Hotness Award. And
she's 40 years old.
She's 40. I think she's actually 43. I mean, she's from a female standpoint, like her body is the epitome of what I would aspire to be. I think she is hotter than hot, and for 43, she's looking great. Thank you. But she says that she owes us to doing downward dog.
It was uncalled for.
Downward dog, but I don't know if you know what that. You're probably getting your mind in the gutter. So to take you out of it, that's a reference to yoga. So she said she's going to keep doing downward dog until the fat lady sings, no pun intended.
Downward dog?
Downward dog. It's a yoga term. This is something that I do on a regular basis. I think you should try it out.
Well, can you explain to me how you do a downward dog?
I can't explain it. It's something that you have to go and try out. Naomi Campbell.
Because I did a lot of downward dogs back in the days when I was drinking.
Too much information.
I did a lot of downward dogs.
And the Inappropriate Comment Award goes to Naomi Campbell and the ad for Cadbury chocolate. Did you see this ad?
No, I have not seen the ad, but somehow when I think about Naomi Campbell, I think about Iman.
Okay.
And Iman's marriage to David Bowie, and Iman was something of a model, something of a public figure, but basically famous because
for
she
being married to David Bowie. Right. So, I mean, and I don't know if she's the track record in anger management that Naomi has, but let me explain the ad to you. It's a chocolate bar surrounded in diamonds, and the slogan is "Move over, Naomi. There's a new diva in town." So you would think that she'd be offended by the diva portion of the slogan.
No, not at all. I mean, first of all, she had to sign off. She had to agree to do the commercial.
Well, I'm saying she was offended. So they're poking fun at the fact that she is a diva, her past with anger management, throwing her cell phone at the maid. I mean, she's had a few run-ins with the law. But she found this ad to be racist because they were comparing her to a chocolate bar. I didn't find it to be racist. What do I know?
Please.
But I didn't find that to be racist. I don't know. And then she's trying to take legal
I'm not
action.
even going to touch this one because it drips of illogical political correctness.
Right. I'm like, how is this even receiving any weight to it? Actor Kelsey Grammer is only seeking, get this, physical custody of one of his children, okay? He has two, a daughter and a son. He only wants physical custody over his son. Camille Grammer, his ex-wife, or soon-to-be ex-wife, is filing for full custody over both of their children.
Probably his daughter with a stapler.
I mean, okay, can you, all right, moving forward, can you imagine, as a child?
I cannot.
I mean, all jokes aside, I don't even know how I would be able to forgive my father if heaven forbid my parents got divorced and he only wanted my son, or his son. I mean, that would just be,
it would be
detrimental to the children. Just let Camille have both of them then and see when you can. You're going to split the kids up?
What do you want to do, make sense?
I know, that's weird. So he actually wants to make this case go to trial because he's so adamant about this. I'm just like, this guy is becoming one of the biggest losers we've ever talked about on this show.
Join us next week when we continue to explore Anthony Weiner along with Elliot Spitzer, legendary client number 9. Once again, for Culture Clash, brought to you by Flood Brothers Disposal Service, I'm Chet Kopic along with
Catherine Saxon.
We'll catch you next time around. So long, everybody.